All right, so Alicia, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and get started. Today we're going to talk about, we'll follow up a little bit from last week because we had a couple of comments. And then we're going to get into, I think it was, I don't know which one of your brothers brought this up. They both bring up a bunch of shit sometimes. I mean, excuse me. But one of them.
Aaron, you popped up. I just said Aaron was totally live when you said that.
But one of them brought up something about somebody was talking about something about why black men aren't in the home. I think this was Aaron. Black men ain't in the home because of the law keeping them out of the house. So we're gonna talk about that, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Let's go.
Okay.
Let's go.
All right. So let me go ahead. Let me go ahead.
Hey, Pop. Hey, Pop. Start it up. We not in the home because we don't want to be in that motherfucker. Don't get it twisted.
Okay.
Fuck out here with that shit.
All right. So let me go ahead and do this little introduction thing. Okay. Here we go. Hello. Welcome to another exciting episode on DNA Hardwired. Common sense turned upside down. My name is Pop, and with me are my co-hosts Jackie and his brother Aaron. We also have their sister joining us, Alicia. So we're making this a family affair now. Any you guys want to say a word or two?
Look, let me say this before Aaron and Alicia get started. I need everybody out there, first of all. Hey, appreciate you guys listening today, real talk. Second of all, look, I need y'all to understand, my family is just imperfect as yours. We just willing to put our shit out there for you guys to make comments about. So if you're looking for perfection, don't look to the wallet. If you're looking for the real shit, look for two of us, Aaron and Jack.
Oh, wow. I heard the girl. I heard what he just said. I heard exactly what he said.
Hold on. And guess what? And this is for my sister Alicia. That's a good man, Savannah. So this is gonna be entertaining. I see what I missed last week.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. And I have to tell you, your sister, she held her own. I don't know if you listened to it, but she held her own. Any comments, Alicia?
You know, hold on, Aaron. I was walking up and down 402 Lee Street, sitting on the side sitting at the mailbox from the crawfish bar, arguing with Alicia on the podcast. What a guy. Wow. Okay. I'm about to go back and catch that one.
You there, Alicia?
Oh, yeah, I'm here. I'm ear to ear right now.
Okay. All right, then. Alicia good. She waiting. Okay. As they say, Jackie, she keeping her powder dry right now. Okay.
No, I'm gonna give a damn. I'm gonna give a care what you keep it dry. We gonna make we worried about what's coming out that mouth. So.
Okay. All right. So let's recap a little. On the last episode, Jackie and Alicia was on. Aaron he got tied up, so he wasn't able to join us last week. We were talking about polygamy. So
hey,
I'm listening.
Hey,
I'm listening.
Aaron got tied up because you trying to get back into the house, and the woman, my mom wouldn't let her come back in.
Is that okay? So Aaron, anything you wanted to follow up on the polygamy thing? I know you may have missed it last week too, but was there anything you wanted to share with us that you wasn't able to put in last week?
Absolutely. Truly apologize for missing the topic that I really wanted to be a part of. First and foremost. Second, the basis of my point would have been last week was it costs way more today for a worse woman. There's already a shortage of men. You're going to share anyway if you have a good one. The problem is the stigma. Somebody had to tell you this was wrong because culturally it was always right. I'm not in the business of saying that, simply put, there's a better candidate today, me not knowing, I don't think wives really exist anymore. So the women that I grew up around, at least they gave me the opportunity to get. But yeah,
Hey, Aaron, say the last part again. When you grew up around, at least they gave you what now? I didn't hear that.
they gave me the opportunity to get, to be like opportunistic, like that this is something that's actually possible.
Okay, I got it.
I don't see that today. Like everybody kind of wants to look the same, kind of wants to be the same. And it's not that so much as being the same is the problem. It's just being the same ain't the same today as it was 70s, 80s, where you're still desiring the same amount of protection, but you're offering way less.
Let me throw something right there. If I'm following Aaron, he's saying what another guy said on another show. I didn't come up with this. I didn't coin this phrase. The good girls, the good women are standing too close to the hoes, and we don't know the difference.
Okay.
Sum that up, yeah.
Okay.
Because they dress alike, they talk alike. There's nothing, for the most part, that separates what we would classify or what's classified as a good woman. There's nothing about her disposition, for the most part, outside that separates her from the pack. Now we all ran. If you ever watch a track meet, long distance, there's a dude at some point in time in that 800 meter, that mile, that 2 mile race, he separates himself from the pack, or she separates herself from the pack. Whether she's in the lead, or he's in the lead, or she's the last, or pulling up the rear, or he's pulling up the rear. They separate themselves from the pack. We don't know the difference because the pack all look the same nowadays, and they sound the same. They sound the same.
So let me make sure. Let me make sure I'm hearing you right. So sound like what you're saying is there doesn't appear to be any difference between the good woman and the not good woman. Is that what I hear you saying?
Pop, since I have my siblings on the call, I can ask the question that every one of them can answer. Who's the cousin? Like who's the current cousin floor mate in your life?
Now say that again, Brother Aaron.
Is there any? They know specifically what I'm asking.
Hey, I'll say what he just said, Pop. We have a cousin that grew up. We grew up around. She was our Sunday school teacher. She was our cousin, and he just asked, "Who was that woman today in our lives?" Because she carried herself. She didn't care who our parents were. She checked you. She corrected you. She moved differently. And every time we go home, when I was home this past time, I make sure I go see her. Aaron makes sure he goes see her because she was that impactful. Who is that woman in modern day society right now? Who is that woman in our lives today? That's what he's asking.
I got you.
The problem here is that y'all think that they don't exist. It's kind of baffling to me.
The fact that they don't show themselves, the fact that they don't show themselves, you can't blame them. You can't blame the market for judging what they see.
Oh, hold on.
You can't sum all women, every woman up by the people that you only know.
I should see some representatives, and I don't see a representative. Like, I don't see no 45-year-old woman at that age when I was 7, 8, 9 years old who carries themselves like that today. See, the goal was always, no matter what, I found someone who was honest and loyal, and I provided for that person till I left here. There's nobody for me at 40 years old to make that agreement with.
Okay. And I think maybe Alicia, I think she made a really, really good point. And I think the point I think I heard her make is that uh, basically the folks that you may not be able to see those types of people, but that doesn't mean that they don't exist. When you really think about it, brother Aaron, when you really think about all of the women in that age group that you were talking about, how many women are we talking about? Are we talking about 100? Are we talking about a few hundred, a few thousand? Talking about a million? How many people are you using to make that judgment on?
Even if I use the 12 to 13 that I could name, I couldn't name the number that I saw that still carried themselves in that same manner every time I saw them.
Mm-hmm.
So of course that total pool for me would be a couple hundred. But also take into account that I was a part of that generation that simply put started to see that fade out.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what I've learned is that they could be it, but they couldn't parent it, and the only reason they were it was because of their parents.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, you know, and I have to acknowledge, I have seen some of the changes that you and Brother Aaron talk about, not just with women, but with us. Period, men and women. I have to acknowledge that I have seen, you know, some of these changes that you guys are mentioning. It's just that uh, I don't think it's as dire as you guys are portraying it to be, especially when it comes to the women in general. I guess that's my point. But I tell you what we're going to
Let
do.
me say this, Pop. Let's say this, Pop.
Go ahead.
We can't say it's dire when the so-called good women are standing too close to the hoes and men say we don't know the difference. Oh no, we can't say we can't say it's not dire. It's absolutely dire. Black women are least marriageable in this country. I don't give a damn what demographic you look at. Black women are least marriageable. That's not because of men. That's because of their attitudes. So we're not gonna play that game. We're not gonna play that game.
Yeah.
Because for every good woman I met 10 hoes. I met 10 women out there busting up for a real one and telling me we right now got a situation with Megan Thee Stallion upset with Klay Thompson when she's been trashed her whole career and all of a sudden she meet Klay and he cheated on her. Now he's a bad guy. Now she's a trash ass woman.
Yeah.
That's part of the problem. That's part of the problem. She's a trash ass woman and we're gonna stop playing this game.
Yeah.
Let's say I'll take any single mother in this country, and I said this before. Take any single mother in this country. You raise your son to be a strong, productive member of society. Tell me what's his prize at the end of the day. When he goes to college and he finishes, back to law school, become a doctor, become a lawyer, what is his prize from the women that share our reflection? A lot of women are asking their sons. A lot of women are telling their sons to not go do something that they want somebody else's son to do. You want me to take you in my life with 2 or 3 kids, by sorry ass dude, and you're telling me I should give you a soft place to land. I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it. No man should do. If she a baby mom with 2 kids, go work it out with your baby dad. Go work it out with your baby dad. When did that man become sorry? Before she had unprotected sex or after she had unprotected sex with him? When did he become sorry? And that's part of the problem. Yeah. But I'm going to digress. I land.
Well, you know, and Jackie, I can't disagree with you that definitely is the case with many women out there. But I'm just seeing something different. You know, I guess it's like that thing about, is the glass half full or is the glass half empty? And the truth of the matter is, it's both. The glass is half full and the glass is half empty. So yes, the women that you're talking about, they exist. Yes, the women that I'm talking about, they exist too. That's all. That's the way I see it anyway. But Alicia, you got anything to say, and then we'll move on.
Well, if and we're gonna be real here, we gotta call it that means I'm not deserving of a good man.
You know, I heard
And
that. I'm gonna let you finish, but I heard that as they were talking. So you go ahead. I heard exactly what you heard, but go ahead.
well, and that's the thing that I have to disagree with, because have we all made mistakes as women? Absolutely. But I have to speak on for the ones that hold their own accountability. Um, and I think we talked about this last week as well. You know, we look at the good sometimes in a man versus the reality and what they're showing us. Like sometimes a woman can look at where on the potential of a man before he actually gets to that place. And
Right.
sometimes that comes from the lack of loving yourself and knowing how to love yourself, because you wasn't taught that. But the older you grow, you learn that for yourself. And I don't think that's fair, because if a woman does have two children, that to say that she's not deserving of that. Because I'm one, and I do know those that has held their own accountability to say, hey, yo, this was on me. This was on me. I'm not gonna fault him. I'm not gonna say anything bad about him. Yo, this was on me. I thought I chose better. I thought, you know, and reality is they may not have given or shown us, you know, but it doesn't mean that we're not deserving, you know.
Right. Right. Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you for that, Alicia. Okay.
I think
Go ahead, Aaron.
no. I said I I think what you're going to learn in this conversation is that if that was the mindset that maintained over the past 20 years, we didn't have no problem. But the fact that we got so far into the deviation from that particular mindset that she's talking about now, that I can tell you for myself, I am done. I would never take that chance
Yeah.
because I don't see that level of accountability. Like I hear it,
Uh huh.
but in women that I could possibly date, I never hear it sound with the level of humility that I just heard.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So therefore, I'm not gonna say that it's not possible to happen, but that's not what I see women lead with.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, I understand where everybody's coming from. Uh, my only thing is just I just think that it's again it's that glass half full, glass half empty thing. I just think it's all in the way we as individuals choose to see this situation. So I tell you what, let's go ahead and try to move on to one of the things that we were gonna. Oh, let me get to this. We did get some feedback from last week. We had one person who made the following comment. So I'm gonna read the comment verbatim, and this was mainly directed at Jackie. It's the person said, "Didn't Jackie say he was in the mortgage brokerage field? Isn't that a?" And the person put it in quotes here. Said, "Isn't that a woman's field according to his definition?" And why does he continually recognize that black men, may historically have been held back by society, but he doesn't recognize that women have been held back? White males in society statistically make more money, obtain better employment positions, and overall have better chances in life than black men and black women in general. Make it make sense, Jackie. Held back is held back. So I'll let you address that, Jackie.
Hold on, ooh. Can I go first?
Go ahead.
I kind of why is she comparing apples to oranges? Like first and foremost, there's no campaign against white men. Black women never participated in that. truth be told, in mass, when you hear a conversation about a horrible man, you rarely see a white woman speak on it. And the other side of it is you rarely hear black people having a conversation about it. So therefore, she made a comparison that's not even close to relevant.
Well, I think what she was saying, I think this is what I got out of it. I think what she is saying is that, yes, in fact, black men and black women have been held back. And white males, they haven't been. That's why they appear to be further ahead because they hadn't been held back. That was just a comparison she was making to try to illustrate.
I get it, right?
Uh-huh.
I get it, right? But my conversation, my question to that is, why is there such a conversation related to black men being your hindrance when, simply put, you can't name a time in history where black men were actually your hindrance?
Where black men was what, Aaron?
You black men.
Say that again. I missed that last. I missed that last part, Aaron. You said something about where black men had done what?
All she's saying is the same thing that black men have been saying for 100 years. We're not your problem. But every time you hear the conversation mentioned, we never mention that guy. He never comes up as an issue. So if we understand where the problem lies, how do we get to a fight in-house with outside problems?
Mm-hmm.
Because you decided that you wanted to compete with a white woman. Because a white woman told you you should compete with her. A white woman told you that you decided to join forces with her and not mind your own business as if all women were oppressed. Black woman, you were still going to her house working. She couldn't work. That wasn't your fight. How you end up over here? You always were working. In the house, outside the house. There's never been a time in history where black women didn't work. Why we fighting for this life of luxury where you don't do nothing but take your resources and keep it to yourself? That was a white America fight. How did we become involved in that?
Well, I think the way that we became involved in it is that in America, this is a society of all people. Now, some people have in the past, and they continue to try to segregate us. But the truth of the matter is we're all in this thing, and we're all competing with each other.
Pops,
I'm listening.
Pops, that sounds great. But where's the Asian American fight that white women took on? Where's the Asian American fight that black women took on? Come on. He's just as much American, right? Born here, made here.
Yeah, let me clarify. Right? Let me clarify. I'm gonna clarify that. When was Asian American women held back and attacked like black American women?
They were not.
That's right. That's why it's not the same. That's why it's not the same.
Black women was not attacked.
Hold on, Jackie. Hold on.
Black women.
I'm not real.
Who is this woman? Who is this woman called Rosa Parks?
Hold on.
Go ahead.
I'm glad we're into jumping from conversation to conversation because I'm a little bit prepared today.
Okay.
There was a time where Asian Americans couldn't own property here, so they bought stores and lived in those stores. That's how they became relevant in your community today. So yeah, they had a level of oppression too. You know the difference was?
Yeah, what's the difference?
She never left the Asian man. She never had a conversation on how sorry he was.
Well, so here we go. Here we go. Come on now. Let's be real. The only people, let me finish for a second. The only people in America, the only people that I can think of that might come close to what the black folk had went through in this country, the only ones that may come slightly close is the Native Americans. You can talk about Asians, you can talk about all these other people, but there's no race. There's no race in America, that's been oppressed and held back as much as the black race. Come on now, let's be serious.
Let me say this. But let me say this. Hold on, Jackie. Hold on. I'm not saying that's not true, but what I'm saying is we're jumping from conversation to conversation to conversation. I'm not saying that there's nobody more oppressed. What I'm saying is, how did he become your enemy? Because the only difference
Who's the enemy? Who's the enemy? What were you doing?
No, hold on.
Okay.
Hold on. The only difference in his oppression and any other oppression that you can think of is that, simply put, your black oppression, your man went through it with you. Come on. Exactly. He was there with you. There was nothing that he was willing to that happened to you that wasn't possible to happen to him.
I wouldn't want to sound like we're down at the bar having drinks with white men talking about we're gonna hold our women back like you only yours. I think I'm
hearing something. I'm gonna let you in. I'm gonna let you in, but I think I'm finally hearing something. This whole discussion, our whole thing has been about black women and black men. What's going on here? Why are we having this battle, this fight between black men and black women? Go ahead, Jackie.
No. And until
I can tell you why.
That is addressed within the black community.
I can tell you why.
Forever be battling one another.
Say that again, Alicia. Let Alicia. Okay, Jackie. We'll let you.
Until we can learn to battle this thing between both the black man and black woman together, we'll forever. Because the only thing I keep hearing is the black woman, black woman, black woman.
Yes.
And let me hold up. Let me say this, because I'm not totally against what they're saying, but what I hear is the only person who can hold their own accountability is to each his own. And in order for the change to happen, that change has to start with each individual person.
Yes.
That means within yourself.
Yes.
Okay.
No.
And then that is then led by example. That is then led by example.
Hold on. We're deviating from the conversation because we don't like the point. This conversation has started one place and ended up in a whole different place. All I'm saying is, in math, the only time in history where you can say, from a community perspective, that a man has been pitted against a woman is the black community.
You said that has been who?
That has been treated as if they are at opposing ends of the spectrum, as if they're not a community. There's no lack of unity that we could speak of in any other community but black people.
Why is that?
And so black women, so you think black women is the 100% politics?
Yes.
Oh my God. My God.
Yes.
That's diabolical, man.
Yes. No, what I'm saying is, and the entire reason is because that black women are the only community that were allowed to use the women as a nemesis or as an enemy of their own men.
So it sounds like you ready to get into our other topic, but I think Jackie wanted to say something.
Look. I was initially talking about the fact that when you mentioned Indians. Hold on. Indians. The Native Americans.
Right.
The Native American men were not holding the Native American women back.
Now say that again.
We can say what we want to.
Say that
Native
again.
American men, the Native American men were not holding the Native American women back.
So what is your point with that?
That's a bad.
Explain that to me.
That's That's a disingenuous argument.
No. Tell me what you.
that
I
y'all
don't get
made-
it. Explain the connection. Who's holding who back
You
in the black
said-
community?
The conversation ran on the fact that black men was holding black Americans, but black women back. And all
I
this
didn't
other-
say that.
It was only white men.
No.
Hold on. That was implied. That was implied. Was it not?
What was that again?
Was it not? Was it not implied?
No, by who?
The conversation that was had initially.
No. The lady
You
was
said-
talking about. No. You missed it.
Aaron said no other. Aaron said something along the lines of no other. What other racial demographic of the women was held back?
No.
What other nationality went through what black women went through? What's the real?
Yeah, y'all didn't go through anything because we didn't hold you back. Y'all didn't go through shit.
But I'm saying, who went through what black women went through?
Y'all didn't go through shit. That's part of the problem.
No.
Y'all keep saying y'all went through
I'm
shit.
asking a question. Answer the question without emotion. What other women went through what black women went through?
And my answer is black women didn't go through shit.
Hold on. Time out. It's not the question of what other woman has went through what black women went through, because black women aren't speaking on any oppression related to another race.
How we not going to use that? But y'all keep saying
No, that's what somebody else is saying. That's not me. I'm watching you guys jump from point to point and not answer my question and deviate to another point. Like, I wish we could play this back to understand how we started and how we got here, because it is the most hilarious 10 minutes of my day.
I missed this too.
Well, I'll tell you what. Let's try this. Okay, Brother Aaron, try to get us back on track. Where do you think we went off track? You had a point, and evidently you're saying we kind of deviated from answering your question. Let's try to go back. What was the question, and what didn't we answer?
There has named the other nationality that has ever been pitted by government, or literally that the nationality of women or men that were marketed to as oppressed, and they turned on each other from the inside.
So the first part of that was that you said, what was that first part of what you said now, that first part of that statement?
Name the nationality that has been pitted against each other.
Okay, so let's,
as it pertains to.
Who pitted this nationality? Are you talking about black women or black men, or what are you talking about now? Who pitted who against who?
No, I'm saying of all nationalities.
Okay.
Has there ever been another one?
Okay.
That allowed legislation.
Okay.
To cause in-house problems.
Okay, so who caused the in-house problem, and how did they do that?
Government.
Okay.
Allowed you.
Okay.
To literally take fathers out of the home.
Okay, so I'm glad you said that, because
man in the house law.
Okay, so I'm glad you said that.
Support.
I'm glad you said that, because that leads us right into the subject that we were going to talk about, men not in the home. So now, explain to me how the government did that. What did they do to not allow men in the house?
There's a such thing as man in the house rule.
Right.
Can I answer that? Yeah, go ahead, Aaron. Go ahead.
No, I want to make sure. No, I want to make sure Aaron get his thing so that we don't.
No.
Go ahead.
I get it. Hold up, I get it. No, because that was a standard out there for that right here.
Okay. The inception of Section 8 stated, after no more than 2 years of being in legislation, that if you had a man in the home, you could no longer receive benefits. And they were sending out agents to your home to check and see if there was a man there.
9 o'clock at night, 10 o'clock at night.
Okay.
Know how I know? Because I asked my father this question. That's what they was doing back in the day.
And you know what? That's true. That's
Hold
true.
on.
That's true. But let's ask this
Hold on,
question.
before we
We're
agree.
going to stay on the subject.
Hold on, Pop.
No, we're going to stay on the subject. We're going to stay on the subject.
Okay.
It's true. It's true. But what was the purpose of that?
Welfare benefits were associated. If you were getting welfare Section 8 benefits, there couldn't be a man.
Okay. So what was
Now,
the purpose?
what
What was
you're
the
gonna tell me-
let's stay on track. Let's stay on track. What was the purpose of those welfare benefits? What was the purpose of those benefits?
We're supposed to support kids. Okay? But here's my question. How do you support kids by legislating no father in the home if he needs assistance?
Come on.
Well, this is the way I'm thinking that the government was looking at it. I'm thinking.
No, wrong. No, not what you think. What do you know?
Well, when I explain it to you, when I explain it to you, it's going to make sense to you.
No, because you're going to because I know how you're going to come with that, and that's not going to work.
No. I want to hear this.
Okay.
I'm going to understand it.
Oh, okay. My understanding of it was that welfare benefits was for the women and the children because they weren't making enough income. If a household of women and children were making enough income, they could not be on welfare. So it was a matter of
No, Pop.
what?
That's not true.
Well, tell me what's not true about it. What's not true about it?
What's true is if he was employed.
No, we're not talking about he. No, let's not mix it up yet. Hold up. No, let's not mix it up yet. I was talking about.
No, we're not mixing it up.
Yeah, you brought in he. You brought in he. We can get to he. We'll get to he, but let's stay with the initial purpose of what welfare was for. It was for the woman and the children. That's what it was initially for because they weren't making enough income. Now, you want to move to he. Go ahead to he.
We're not going to move that news like you're doing right now.
No. What I'm saying is that's not the effect. That's the
way they dressed it up. That's where they dressed that shit up.
That's the cause. We're mixing the effect with the cause.
Let me ask you a question.
Because he's not working, because he's not bringing income, I have to go and get Section 8. I have to go and provide for our children, our child. What am I going to do? The government has offered me a place that's in the hood, but I can't have it without you. We are the only group on the planet that bought into the legislation that turned us against each other from the inside.
Oh, let me ask you a question. Did that only? What'd you say? What'd you just say, Alicia? What'd you just say, Alicia?
I said, how is that the case when there's more white women who's receiving assistance?
Would you repeat that again?
If we're looking at numbers, y'all, we look at numbers.
No, you can't look at numbers. You got to look at percentages.
We're going to look at numbers. How you going to say what we can look at?
Look at percentages. This is where you keep missing the point. Because if more white women on welfare, but it's on a 3% of the population, and a smaller percentage, a smaller number of black women on welfare.
But
and
those same rules apply. The point is that the same rules apply.
All I'm saying is one of two things. All right? It's one of two things, right? Either white women didn't go on child, white America didn't take the government route.
By choice.
It was legislated different in the white community.
No, it was not.
That's the only that would be the only two relevant factors we can talk about.
Well, then the first one. It's the first one.
Can we agree to that?
Yeah, I agree, and it was the first one. It was the first one. I agree with you.
All right, so y'all listen. All right, okay, let me say something. Okay, so do y'all remember the women back in the day getting food stamps where there was paper money?
Yeah.
Okay, when was those husbands out of the house?
I can guarantee you
they wasn't
when they knew that lady was coming through to check their house, they was getting the hell up out of there.
Fuck out here.
You know,
Matter of fact,
hold up. Still up out of there temporarily?
No, that was not that for good. Because guess what? Lisa, hold on, Aaron, hold on. No, Lisa, go talk to Pop. They were sending
Go talk to who?
agents. Go talk to Pop. They were sending agents around in Macomb. If you had a son that wore size 9 to shoot, they thought that was your man. And her benefits on the line, and that's her son. Don't give me this. I had these conversations.
Let me ask you this question.
Nuki, you can't tell me you've had this conversation with the amount of people you can count on your hand, my brother.
But not only that, let me ask you this question. Let me ask you this question. Guys. How long ago was this? How many years ago are we talking about?
In the 70s.
So we're talking about 70s. My math ain't that good, but from 70 to that's 30 years. That's like 50 years ago. Why are we still talking about this 50 years ago?
Because guess what? You think welfare stopped 50 years ago? I'll wait. No. How many people on Section 8 today?
This man and this man not locked.
And they ain't where they popping up, showing up, saying the nigga can't be in the home. Please tell me.
Yeah. Let me give you some.
Hold on. Because we're gonna have this conversation and pretend that we've ever seen a man and a woman employed and able to get food stamps at the same time, or any other government benefit for that matter. It don't happen when you have a man who's employed. I don't care what his situation is. His job could have went from $22 an hour to $10 an hour. I can guarantee you he's not getting no assistance, and whatever the threshold is going to be, it's going to fluctuate for your situation. Because you got him.
But it doesn't.
Hold on. But the day you go in there without him, I can promise you're going to get all the benefits you are looking for. And every man on the planet knows this. We can stop pretending and we can have a real conversation, or we could waste time for 20 more minutes.
Listen, I have a question. Have y'all ever dated a woman where y'all had to walk out of the house to get out of the house when somebody showed up at the front?
Ain't got nothing to do with it.
No, Alicia, girl, you sharp. You sharp, Alicia.
Ain't got nothing to do with it.
Where somebody, you can't say you don't have anything to do with it, bro, because you can only speak by your experience and not what somebody said.
Well, you got to speak about it. I know I'm on chicks on Section 8.
Yeah. I tell you what. Let me interject. Let me interject really quick. Let me interject really quick with some historical facts, okay? Let me just or historical context, real quick, and then I'll let you guys go back. This stereotype is largely rooted in historical, social, economic factors and welfare policies from the 60s and 70s, such as you guys said, the man in the house rule, which penalized families for having a man in the home, effectively driving many fathers out. Additionally, research shows that Black men are increasing their marriage rates, with some data, blah, blah, blah. But anyway, most apartment rentals, allow short-term guests, but having someone live there long-term without being on the lease usually violates the lease agreement, yada, yada. All right, dispelling the myths. While it is true a high percentage of Blacks are born to unmarried parents, this does not equate to fatherless homes. Many of these fathers are parents or present and involved. The narrative that Black fathers are absent from the home is considered a pervasive myth rather than an accurate reflection of reality. Data indicates that Black fathers who live with their children are often more actively involved in daily care, such as bathing, feeding, and helping with homework, compared to their white or Hispanic counterparts. So basically, they're saying they're more involved. Let's see here, blah, 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 Black fathers, blah, 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 dispelling the myth.
We know that.
Now, I'm glad you made that point. We've been knowing that. The problem is this. For 2 or 3 years, the only entity that published that study was the CDC. Every other independent study lied.
They're not.
And also, that was true before they started keeping numbers. Them men didn't just start. Them N-words didn't just start.
Okay, a little bit more context. As of the man in the house rule, now as of 2026, we're not in 1968 or 70, 2026. It's legally abolished. The original substitute father regulation, which denied benefits if a woman cohabitated with any man, even one not supporting the children. It was declared unlawful in 1968. Modern income, okay. Today, while a man can live in the house, his income is counted toward the family's total income for temporary assistance for needy families. If the man is employed, his income can render the family ineligible for benefits, often forcing a choice between the relationship and financial support. So, if the man is working and he's making income, and he's making enough income to where the system says that, hey, we're not going to provide you support because you're making enough income, what are they supposed to do? If I'm making 150 grand a year and I live in the home, they supposed to provide my wife with or my children with some kind of assistance? Where's the cutoff?
The man that's making $150,000 is never at that office. Let's have a conversation about the man that's.
Yeah, I was just saying someone actually challenged that in 1968. I guess maybe the father was out of the house and they started dating someone else. And, of course they call it the substitute father, where in 1968 the Supreme Court ruled and said that they cannot deny them assistance.
Right.
Because of the man being inside of the home.
Right.
And Aaron's point was substitute father.
Right. That was just the term they used. But go ahead.
No, a substitute, like those words actually mean something. A substitute father is a stepfather.
Okay.
They're telling you that those same benefits don't apply to his biological father.
That's not what they said, though.
Yes, it is when they're telling you a substitute father. There's no such thing as a substitute father if you're talking about that child's biological father.
Well, let me ask you this, Brother Aaron. Let me ask you this. If the let me lower my voice. If the biological father is no longer in the home, all right, if he is no longer in the home, and now there's this substitute father, stepfather, whatever you want to call him. So, but now he's in the home. So now they have to apply the rules or not to him. The real father's no longer in the home. So I don't get it. What's the issue?
Because she couldn't get those same benefits for the biological father.
That's not what they were saying.
That's exactly what they're saying when they say a substitute father. They're not talking about that child's biological father. The language is specific in law. It's absolute.
It's just like when we use the precedent cases for certain things. The case doesn't necessarily have to be the exact same thing. Because even if a person was to decide to say, hey, I'm going to take this to court because I was denied. Let me see if I can, challenge this as they did in 1968. Do you think today that would not that that'll say, well, he's not the real father, he's a substitute father? You don't.
No, what I'm saying is, unless you go to court and petition that, it's not the same. You're not going to get that benefit.
Yes, I don't believe that.
I don't care if you believe it or not. It's a reason why they're telling you a substitute father. The law may cover a general population, but it will never speak generally.
It was called the man in the house or substitute father. That's what it was called.
Yes. It didn't even have to be he didn't even have to be labeled a father. He could have just been somebody she was dating, but he was living in the house.
Bingo.
Right.
Those
so what's wrong with that?
What's
wrong with that? I mean,
those benefits are not applied to your biological father. I know. I was once in that situation. I know.
What do you mean when you I don't understand what you mean when you say no funds were applied to the biological father. I don't understand what you mean by that.
My son's mother could not get benefits living in an apartment that I was the leaseholder on.
Oh, okay. I get you now. I get you. All right.
So therefore, man in the house rule is not accessible for your biological father.
Well, then they can be caught.
The abolishment of man in the house rule was not acceptable for biological fathers. That's not true.
That Aaron King versus Smith, the government cannot deny aid simply because a father is present. That goes for both of the substitute father or a father in the house. A family cannot disqualify.
Yeah, it's changed.
The reason why you're reading that legislation is because that is a Supreme Court ruling. The only way you get to Supreme Court is that you have to not only attend but bypass state courts when they violate your federally protected rights. Simply put, no father has the money. Do you know how much it costs to get in a federal courtroom?
Aaron, are we there? Of course I know.
Right. So it's not free.
But at least but you
do know that there is something called when a person cannot. It's called the paper. What is it? There is a motion that can be filed when the money is not there. There is a motion that can be filed, and I think it's called the paper is something. I would have to go online and look it up.
You were 26, 27, 28 years old when you learned that.
Don't matter.
Yes, it does matter.
But it's still existed.
False. That information is missed.
Yeah. Well.
Okay, but then Google is still available.
Yeah.
Right. But how that's going to be implied when you get to a courtroom as a black man, as a man, period, is if you don't know that law, they're going to follow their standards.
Well, I guess this is my thing. My whole thing is I guess I'm too simple. I'm too simple-minded. My whole thing is if whether I'm married or not, but if I have a mother of my child, whether we're married or whether we're single, but I have a mother of my child, and I want to take care, at least take care of my child. As a man, I'm going to do that. I'm not going to worry about the court and the man in the house rule. That's just me personally. I'll find a way to take care of my child. Now, If it's my wife or my girlfriend, I'm going to find a way to take care of them. I'm not going to worry about the court system. I guess maybe that's where my mind is at, and that's why I'm having such a hard time dealing with this thing about whether or not there should be a man in the house and all these rules. I grew up in that kind of situation. My mother was on welfare when I was growing up. Now she was she worked. She worked the whole time. My mother worked until she was in her 60s, but she worked, but she wasn't making enough money, so she needed a welfare supplement, and she got that. But there were different times where my mother had men living in that house, and I'm talking back in the 60s. There was men living in that house. We never had nobody come knocking at the door wanting to know whether there was a man in the house. Okay, maybe we're lucky. I don't know what you want to call it. So my perspective is just so much different on what we're talking about now, as far as these men not being able to live with their families. I guess maybe that's my whole thing. I'm missing it. But go ahead. I'm sorry. Are you guys still there?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
I'm here.
We if it was not legislated in your area the same way it was in others, we can't overlook that the legislation was actually there.
That it was
the
there?
reason why the rule is there.
Did you say that it was there?
I can't hear you.
Yeah, you said just because my situation was the way it was, we still have to acknowledge that the legislation was there. Is that what you said?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
There's legislation
I agree.
in place.
Yeah, I agree.
In order for there to be legislation in place, it's because they intended to enforce it.
Yeah, but there was a reason for it. But there was a reason for the legislation.
Say that again?
I said there was a reason for that legislation.
There's no such thing as a reason for legislation where you will not benefit a woman with a child because she has a man.
Yeah, I think there should be. Look, maybe you didn't hear me. I grew up in a time in the 60s where my mama was on welfare and she had men in that house. And some of those men either didn't work because they didn't want to work, or the ones that did work was only contributing so much to that household. So no, I don't think the government should be supporting some man that's able to take care of his damn self. That's my thoughts on it. And I think that's what the government's thoughts is.
So what you're saying is it's okay to fund a woman who's able-bodied, but it's not okay to fund a man who's able-bodied.
Yeah, kind of. That's kind of what I'm saying. That's kind of what I'm saying. Because here's the deal. Let me finish. I'm gonna finish answering. Let me finish answering your question. Let me finish answering your question. Go ahead, then. Go ahead.
As long as we're able to start the conversation with there is an inherent bias that you're okay with the government implementing because of your personal feelings, we can move forward.
Okay. So
but let's be real here. Don't the woman have daycare to pay when that woman has to go out and work? Aren't there other things to consider here when a woman is in the household by herself as well?
No, what I'm saying about that is that same assistance should be offered for that guy.
It is if he's by himself.
No, but there are men that receive Section 8, and there are men that receive food stamps.
Yes, there are. If they're by themselves.
Absolutely. The moment you throw a woman in that picture, it's over with. That lets you know your government is not promoting family. They're promoting individualism.
No, they're promoting family. If you can, they're promoting you to take care of your family. That's what they're promoting.
Huh?
They're promoting that you as a man take care of your family. That's what they're trying to promote.
That's no way you democratic social program supporting people are saying this out loud.
Of course, that's what we've been talking about. Is how the government, if you got an able-bodied man in the household, that's what we've been talking about. The government ain't so anxious to help support you. That's what we're talking about.
What I'm saying is, if she's allowed to have a hard time, he's allowed to have a hard time. there's a such thing as equal protection under the law.
I get
and
that.
It should not include me being a part in order to enforce that. I could care if I agree with the rule. I could care less if I agree with the rule. I have a problem when the rule is being misenforced. That is the issue.
Yeah.
And simply put, every other nationality decided to say, I'm going to reject that ideology or I'm going to lie to the government to maintain my family. Black women did not.
You said black women do not what now?
My mama did.
No. Let me. I'm trying
My
to
mama
answer what
did.
you said. You said black women do not what now?
Lie. They don't lie to maintain the family.
All of them did. What is he talking
Yeah,
about?
I know. I don't know.
All of us have.
Yes, I don't know.
And I'm speaking because I know what it feels like. I've been there. I know what it feels like to receive both of them.
Yes.
Right. They protected the second man, not the first one.
Aaron, we're talking about somebody who just. Let's be real here. When the government put my first on child support, I went down there and took him off. You know, they gave me hell to take him off of child support. They was like, "Oh, are you back with him? Why are you wanting to take him off child support?" It took a black lady to call me back in the office and go and tell that white lady, "No, she wants him off child support. Take him off child support."
By your own admission right there, you're just saying my point. You're proving my point.
What point?
You could not. They basically, your government has promoted the breaking of families.
No, but let me explain why that was.
Why you had to, hold on.
Go ahead.
The reason why you had to go down there and have that much of a conversation is because Title IV is not only hitting his paycheck, but it's also hitting his trust account. Now they can multiply that number. The moment you go down there and say, "I no longer want this money," it's basically you telling Title IV that they don't get no money for something that they've been getting excessively paid for years. So the scheme was always bigger than you. That's my problem with black women.
Let me ask you. So let me ask you a question, Alicia.
Paying me child support?
Alicia, please.
I wasn't receiving child support for him. What are you talking about?
Please, Alicia. Please, Alicia.
I wasn't receiving a dime.
Alicia.
I never received a dime.
Alicia, let me ask you a question. Please, let me ask you a question. Why did you decide to take him off of child support?
Because the system was never created. It was never created to help the black man. The reason why.
No.
I lost the system.
No. So again, let me ask you this question because I don't understand it.
Yes.
So the father of your child, right? He was not in a household. Let me make sure I got this right. He was not.
He never was, not one time.
Okay, all right. And so he was on child support, right? He was supposed to provide child support.
And they put him on child support because he wanted the DNA test for my daughter.
Okay, so he went on child support because he wanted to be able to see your daughter, his daughter too.
Yes.
Okay.
When the state pays for it, they automatically put him on child support for Mississippi.
Okay. So, but you wanted to take him off of child support.
Yes.
Now, be honest with me. Because I think I know what was happening because I've seen it before. But why did you want to take him off child support?
Well, the question for me is if I was never receiving it.
Okay.
I never received it, and that he was accumulating a balance. And the thing that I do know is me keeping him on child support would only hinder him from filing taxes, from doing anything that could possibly potentially help him. And I held my own self accountable because that boy never told me he wanted a lifetime with me anyway. So
I get you. So you did it because you were looking out for his welfare, basically.
And to completely separate myself from something that I felt that I was entitled to anyway.
There you go. So that was by your choice, right?
Yes.
And it was by his choice because he was choosing not to support his child. Not you, but he was choosing not to support his child. Right?
Correct.
So if he wasn't going to support his child, were you looking for any assistance from the state at all?
I did. Yes, I did.
Yes. So the state, now put yourself in the state's position. See, that's what we're missing here. Put yourself in this, and it's not perfect. Don't get me wrong. The state don't work. And I'm agreeing with Aaron. The state does not work perfect.
He's definitely correct.
Yeah, the state's not perfect. But we try, I try to look at what their intent is. Don't always work out right. But to me, in your scenario, it's a prime example. The state is saying, wait a minute. This man helped create this child. The mother is already fulfilling her part of it because the child is living with her. She's feeding that child. She's clothing that child. She's giving that a child a place to live. Now, what is this father doing in this process? Well, he's not contributing. He wants the state to contribute his part. He's able to participate, to provide his own part. Now, this is just one individual case, but imagine the thousands and possibly millions of cases out there like this, that the state has to come up with some guidelines, some rules to deal with these situations. They don't always apply equally to everybody, but that's what, if you kind of look at it from that standpoint, and that's what I do, I look at it from that standpoint. The state is saying, this man helped create that child. He has an obligation to help support that child. And before we provide assistance to the spouse who needs the support, we're going to go after him first. So anyway, that's just my point on it. I'm going to give you guys to go ahead and kind of finish up, and then we'll go ahead and close it out. Go ahead, Brother Aaron. You've been quiet.
Okay, let me say this right quick before Aaron jumped in. When I took him out of child support, it canceled his rearage. It canceled it out.
Well, yeah, I did.
No, baby, what I'm saying is even from the time that I've been.
Yeah, but baby,
therefore, I wasn't looking for anything.
Yeah, but baby, here's what I'm trying to say. Of course, think about that. Of course, it canceled it out. You basically told the state, this man owed me money, but I don't want it. That's what you told the state. Now, you not mad, and he not mad. Y'all happy, the government happy. So we okay with that. But that's
whoa. That's a lot. Hold on.
Go ahead.
That's the part that's not true.
Okay, go ahead.
So we continue to miss the overarching effect of that portion not being true.
Okay.
The government is very pissed off that you did that. It's the reason why you weren't allowed to do it under your own recognizance the first 2 or 3 times. It's the reason why they continue to have the conversation with you. There's way more funding than what you're getting for your child that's actually being given to the state. There's also 4 or 5 women out of Minnesota who decided to sue Title IV because they found out what Title IV got as a result and what Simply Put they got as a result. And the numbers were crazy different in benefit of the state. That's when Title IV changed their perspective and said child support is not for the child, but the state. The state maintaining that case. So no, what you're saying is not true at all.
In Mississippi, the state doesn't receive a dime of the child support. The only time Mississippi receives within that mother is on plaintiff.
Hold on. You said the state don't do what now?
Listen, the state does not take a percentage from the man's income for child support. If that man pays $500-$600, that woman gets $500-$600.
Alicia, this is how I know what you're saying. You're not correct on it. That's a loan.
Aaron, I have friends that receive child support in Mississippi. Okay, if that man pays $500, it's not like Georgia, Aaron.
Alicia,
okay, I'm not going to go back and forth on that. Mississippi don't take a dime from you.
Is making a loan against your trust account. And as you're paying it, the reason why your number is different from what the state is from what your guy's sending compared to what you're getting is because they are funding themselves. And they're funding themselves to the tune of 4 or 5 times the number that you're actually receiving. So no. If there's ever a time where you should trust me on something or go and do further research, it is now.
Well, here's the thing, though.
Mississippi does not take money from you, bro.
Here's the thing.
Here's
the thing.
The only time Mississippi takes is if that woman is on tennis. That woman receives a certain amount of that man's child support first, and the state gets it back from the top of that child support once that child support payment is made.
That's Title 4D. Title 4E gets excess. You're only talking about Title 4D.
Yeah. Here's my thing. Here's my thing. If the state is getting money because of people on welfare, is that what you're saying, Aaron? That the state gets money for people that are on welfare?
Not on welfare, child support.
I mean, excuse me, child support. I'm sorry, child support. But child support, the state gets money because of folks that's on child support?
Absolutely.
Okay, I have no problem with that. The reason I don't have any reason I don't have any problem with it, I'm suspecting that the state has to have a program that has to be administered, and that costs money, right? Or no?
If you decide to butt into my federally protected business, you should not be funded for it. And you're not going to explain to me a situation where the government is allowed to act outside of their lawful jurisdiction and be funded for it.
Mm-hmm.
I could care less what it is.
Yeah. Well,
so that only allows an opportunity for government to do what it does best: lie and create wealth for themselves.
Yeah. Well, I can't argue as far as whether or not government, there's some corruption in government, especially today. But I'll tell you what we'll do. I think we kind of beat this subject to death. We can continue it on the next episode. But it's been really interesting. I don't think we actually fully answered that question, but I think we did help inform some folks, I think, anyway. Any last comments before we close out on this one?
No. I totally appreciate you having me another week, man. Can't wait to do it again next week.
Yeah.
Look forward to seeing you guys again.
Yep. Thank you, and I really appreciate your input. A lot of insightful information. Hopefully, it'll be helpful to folks. Go ahead, Alicia.
No, thanks for having us, man.
Okay. All right, we'll do this again next week. And you guys, if you've, I'll talk about this offline. Okay, listeners, I really appreciate you for tuning in and listening. This one went a little bit long, but there was hopefully a lot of helpful information, a lot of insightful information. And we're going to go ahead and close this session out, and we'll holler at you on the next episode next week. Thank you for listening.
Think it through, people.